Good morning, students. We will discuss about Unit 5 in Object-Oriented Programming and about input and output basics. So to start with, we should understand what is input and output and what are the different classes it has and how you can read the input from a file, how you can write the output to another file. So it is why we are all these things can be done with Java IO, Java input and output. It is used to process the input and it is going to produce the output. So it is going to use the form of streams. Okay, so stream. Java usually reads the file in the form of streams. Either it will read in a byte stream, or it will read it in a character stream. So if your file is very short or whatever, maybe it is of user's choice whether to read the file in byte stream or can read the file in the character stream. But the stream can be defined. Stream is like a sequence of data you have. So to have the stream concept to read and write, we have two classes: input stream and output stream. So input stream is used for to read the data from the source, and output stream is to write data to a destination. So what we are going to do is we are going to read the content from the file with the help of this input stream, and after reading the content in the file, what we are going to do, we are going to write it in a destination where that is also a file with the help of this output stream. Okay, so first we'll discuss about byte stream and then one example program, and then we'll go for the character stream in the next video. So Java byte stream are used to perform input and out of 8-bit. So byte stream of is of 8-bit. Okay, so byte stream will be reading the input with help of what 8-bit stream. Though there are many classes related to byte stream, but we will be using most frequently file input stream and file output stream. So the superclass is file stream and the input output stream are the subclasses of those input stream. Okay, so we will just discuss one example and then you will come to know how this been working and all. So first, to since we are talking about this input and output, we possibly you should have, not possibly, certainly you should have input output Java package. Okay, so next we'll have a class. Copy file is a class name, and public static void main is a main method. And see here we are using throws. In exception handling, we discussed about what are the different types of keywords that we have. One of the keyword is throws, and if you are using this throws, you need to use after the method. And what exception I am throwing? IO exception. Okay, so first we are having a file name called copy file, and followed with we are having main method, and this class becomes the main class, and I am throwing, and it throws IO exception. And I'm creating two objects for two classes. See, file input stream is one class, and I'm creating object for file input stream, and the object is in, and I'm initializing it to null. First, beginning initial stage, I doesn't have any content in my object, that is in, and initially, and next I am creating one more object for output stream, that is file output stream, and the object is out, and that also it is initialized as what, null. So first at the beginning, I am having all my objects as what, null. So next I am putting this into try. So try is a one where you will give the lines of code or piece of code where you will predicting that may result in your errors. So I am putting this inside my try block. So inside try block, in object has been initialized to the input, and out object is being given to the output.txt. See, for example, input output stream. For example, I'm having input as my file name, and it is being saved as what, txt file. See, this is the class name. For this I am creating an object, and that object is being initialized for what, input.txt. So this input.txt is having some input within it, and I'm going to read that input with help of this class, and I'm placing it in this what, in is the object. As I read the content in the input, I will be putting it in what, object in. So after reading all the input, and which is the object which is going to take output, out is the object. So where I have also mentioned my destination file, my destination file is what, output.txt. Okay, so first my copy file is a class, and again I'm having main method where I throw an IO exception, and I'm using two classes to read one class, to write one class. So file input stream is a class to read the input, and file output stream is a class to write the output. Initially I'm having it as null, and if what if suppose whichever file which I'm giving it here may not be present. It is not all, it is not happen in all cases. But what if the file that I mentioned here is not there in the destination? So I am going to put it in the try block where it is going to handle those exceptions. So, and I'm assigning in object for this input.txt, and output.txt is assigned to out. And I'm having one more object int c. We will discuss why we are having this int c in the next line. So next I'm reading. I'm starting now. I am been assigned the file name. Now I'm starting to read the file. See, while condition c is equal to while loop c is equal to in dot read. So read is a method that we are using it here to read the 8-bit byte from the input.txt. Okay, so read in is an object. C is a variable that has been created here, declared here. C is equal to in. In is a one object which is having this file because I have assigned input.txt to this in object. Okay, so in dot read. So now in has my file, and I'm going to read that file with help of this read input. And after reading this file byte by byte, I'll be saving it in what? The variable C. When the line or when the file reaches not equal to -1 means end of file reaches, it starts to write. So I am placing this write inside my while loop. As I read, I am going to write it in my destination. Where I am going to write my destination file is output.txt. So output.txt is being given with out object. So here out dot write of C. So C is a variable which is having all the read content, and I'm giving as a method variable inside the write. So all the things which is there in the C will be written in out. So out object is having output.txt. So whatever I have read from this input.txt will be given to the output.txt. So this is byte stream. Even though we use or not, even though we read the content from the input file, or return the content to the output file, it is our responsibility to close the file which is being used. We have to close all the resources that is being used. So finally is a one which will be executing even though you have executed the before codes and all that, and all it will not refer. So finally block will be executing. So if in is not equal to null, if it is not a null, or if it is equal to null, whatever may be the condition, you have to close it. So in dot close, out dot close. So after the resource is being used, so you need to close the resource, and that is what we are doing. So this is all about your byte stream, where you are going to read the file, and we are going to whatever which is being read, and we will be writing it into the destination. Our destination file is output.txt. Thank you.